You called it, Megan, several days ago that Friday morning would be the morning.
I know, yeah, and here it is. You know, for your morning commute, wish we could have timed it a little bit better, but it is very active. I want to take you straight to Pinpoint Doppler Live. It's been active all morning long. We've seen lightning. We've even seen snow for our local mountains. So let's take this full. You can see our 5 radar sweeps activated right now.
Just heard thunder.
I know, and you know, speaking of Coronado, I just looked at the radar. It actually just popped up right over the Coronado area. Oh. Yeah, so lightning still with us this morning. That slight chance for thunderstorms continuing. Most of the activity has been to the north of us. Look at that. Pinpoint Doppler Live. Any of the red that you see pop up, just wait for it. It'll pop up. That's what we just heard around the San Diego area. We'll go ahead and zoom down into that area. I just tweeted at Jared Aarons. He's out in Balboa Park. I said, just wait. There's a storm on the way, and here it is. Heavy rain along the 8, the 805, the 5. Basically, be prepared for wet roads as you're heading out. And impressive rainfall totals, over 2-inch per hour rainfall rates. That means that if it rained for an hour at that site, we would pick up 2 inches. That would not be good. Localized flooding is a possibility. A flood advisory is in place for all areas west of the mountains. Santee and El Cajon also seeing some heavier showers right now. Camp Pendleton area has been pummeled all morning long with a lot of rain starting to ease up, but as you zoom out, there's more on the way. So look, we're going to track this next storm that actually just brought that lightning all the way out, arriving in downtown around 7:02, La Mesa 7:20, El Cajon at 7:27. You'll see lighter showers out ahead of that, but that's when the heaviest rain is going to be arriving. And as Marie was mentioning, it lightens up and then it gets a little bit heavy. These are bands that are coming through, so that's what we're expected. Spotty, light to heavy showers at times. 7:30, active still on our radar. 9 a.m. starting to ease up, but starting to move into the East County out in the South Bay as well. On and off showers through the morning hours. Then we'll have another wave come in around midday, so make sure you join us at 11 a.m. We'll let you know the impacts then. Then into the afternoon, then we'll finally start to see things quiet down. But spotty showers into the afternoon. Drizzle possible into the morning hours tomorrow, then dry for the weekend. Cloudy, overcast, ominous. Oh, look at this. There's snow at Mount Laguna. Now that the sun is up, we can actually see there's a little bit of a dusting there. That's why that winter weather advisory is in effect there. It's 29 in Mount Laguna, 32 at Palomar Mountain. This is a very cold storm system moving into our area. You know, we mentioned that we already broke one record. It was the wettest May day ever on record yesterday, picking up 1.63 inches at Lindbergh Field. That is the 70th wettest day ever at Lindbergh Field. And look at this, more rain on the way.
Megan, it just keeps coming.
I know, and we'll take it every drop. Can you believe that? Almost an inch in 9 minutes at the airport. Before last week's storm, we were almost 3.5 inches shy. Now, this is just the water year. This doesn't take into account the seasons of drought that we have been in. And how much do we need? Well, we need about 2 feet to 45 inches of rain by the end of our next water year just to be back at normal. Well, what has San Diego seen? In the 6 strong El Niños we've picked up about 18 inches at the most in San Diego. When you average all El Niños, weak to strong, we've picked up about a foot on average. We've actually seen droughts start in El Niños. And our last wet year was actually a La Nina right before our historic drought started, 2010 to 2011. So the drought is not likely going to end anytime soon. So the takeaway is keep conserving. The full name of it is Altocumulus lenticularis.
Oh.
And one of my other favorite clouds is the Mamadas cloud. So you can actually see, here's the lenticular cloud right there. Looks like a spaceship. I tweeted out a time lapse of what that looks like because it looks even more like a UFO. You should go see it. It's really neat. I tagged you guys in it, so you have to go comment on it.
The truth is out there.
I know, it's out there. And another one of my favorite clouds is the Mamadas clouds. I was telling you guys about that. So I have a photo of it. This is from a storm chase I did a few years ago. And you can kind of see they're the drooping underside of rain-saturated clouds. I'm so thankful for those clouds because it would be colder if they were not sitting here. And it is a crisp morning right now. I have Pinpoint Doppler Live fired up for y'all. So we've got the cooler air that we've been tracking for over a week now finally moving over California, bringing rain to the north of us. It's not going to bring us any rain. Then another system behind it, but we're actually going to see a low pressure is going to form. You can't see it on this map, so I'm going to put 10 News Futurecast into play because it actually picks up on this very well. So here comes the cooler air, and then here comes this inside slider. It's a cutoff low, so it's going to form, get cut off from the jet stream, dive south. It's going to be pretty potent as well and bringing us much cooler air across the entire county and the possibility of spotty showers Sunday, potentially continuing into Monday.
But is that a sign of things to come, though, that shot?
It is. It's more typical for our June weather. The overnight and morning clouds returning, clearing to afternoon sun and less humidity. And also signs of the season, the San Diego Fair reopening today. We're kind of in this Goldilocks pattern. Over here's the high pressure, that's too warm. Over here's the low, that's too cold. We're right in the middle of it, it's just right. Now heading to the south of us, there's a tropical storm and there's a hurricane. Hurricane Dolores is the one that we're going to be tracking closely. Tropical storm Enrique out there, he's not going to be doing much. He's just a fish storm. And this is the solstice clock. So tell me, why not a regular sundial? Why this solstice clock?
Well,
some areas 10 degrees warmer than just yesterday. As these two systems get closer together, that offshore wind is going to develop. It is going to be a weak event. We're not expecting very gusty winds, anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour as we head through the next few days. But you are going to notice the hot and dry conditions, low humidity levels, but not bone dry. We're talking about humidity levels anywhere from around 20 to 40%, not into the teens or single digits. So let's talk about the records that we could beat starting tomorrow, because that's going to be the hottest day of the week. Poway, record 93. I'm forecasting 99. Oceanside, El Cajon, and Ramona also likely to tie or break records. And Escondido and downtown are going to be awfully close. Yeah, I'm forecasting 90 degrees tomorrow at the coast.
Talk to Megan now, because her job is to tell us just how hot it's going to be.
Man, or how hot it already is.
Feels it inside, it feels hot.
Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable the next few days. Just hold on, we'll get through it together. And the heat doesn't even peak today, doesn't even peak tomorrow. It actually peaks on Sunday. And that's why we're in a heat advisory. Starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon for basically everybody except for the coastline. Our desert areas are an excessive heat warning, which just means that it's going to be even hotter out there. We're talking about those dangerous heat levels. So avoid the heat of the day, wear lightweight, loose-fitting clothing, drink plenty of water, and don't forget to check the back seat. Make sure you don't have any kids or pets or anybody back there. Temperatures in the car soar very quickly when you're talking about temperatures into the triple digits. And if you can get into air conditioning, do that. I'm actually headed to my mom's house this weekend. She's got air conditioning. I'm taking advantage of that. Well, you know, I think this may be the cutest view of the polar bears I have ever seen from the San Diego Zoo. This is how you beat the heat. You just sit on a rock, cool in the water. Love it. Tweet us what you're doing to keep cool. Believe it or not, Jared, the waves are actually going to be getting bigger as we head into later this week. Right now, it's starting to subside, but still fairly large, 4 to 8 feet. The largest surf is going to be south of Del Mar, which is what we have been seeing today. In fact, some areas like Blacks still up to 10 feet right now. You can see there's more behind it, but this is the bulk of it moving through right now across our county. You can see it's actually starting to lighten up in the Camp Pendleton and Oceanside area. Here's the band. You can see out ahead of it, showers moving through our county, cells moving about 20 to 25 miles per hour. And it's still no change to the forecast. Around 2 o'clock, that's when the bulk of the storm will move out. However, spotty showers will continue on and off. Now, thunderstorms will be possible into the afternoon. Any thunderstorms that form brief, heavy downpours, erratic winds, abundant lightning, and even small hail is going to be possible with that. Heading into the evening, the snow levels drop. We could see some snow dusting Mont Laguna and Palomar Mountain, but it's quick moving. Look, it's by midnight. We're drying out across the county, and it's going to be a nice weekend in store for us, so it is going to be cool. A live shot from our Del Mar Skycam. The waves larger than they were just yesterday. Raindrops on the camera here. Was watching the palm trees blowing around earlier. Up to 10-foot waves just in the South Bay. A little bit less farther to the north, but a high surf advisory, or excuse me, a high surf warning. The first ever high surf warning, in fact, for San Diego County in effect through 4 p.m. on Sunday. Best chance for flooding will be during high tide tomorrow around 8 to 10. And I know there's a lot of colors on here. It looks like a kid just came in colored on this map, but it's basically showing how strong the winds are going to be. Winds up to 70 miles per hour, which we've already seen for our mountain areas. For our coast and valley areas, winds picking up as we head into the afternoon. Could see gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Carlsbad has reported a gust up to 37. Not as strong, but still no less breezy for our valley areas. The winds subside for our mountain and desert areas heading into this evening, but it's going to be a cold and blustery day in store for us. Look at this, Oceanside right now, sustained winds at 13, 17 downtown, 18 in IB. Again, the winds pick up, so don't park underneath any trees or branches or power lines, anything that can fall down. You may be running into some debris on the roadways, and with the rain going, make sure you keep your headlights on. Makes it so other vehicles can see you a lot better. Temperatures haven't changed much. We're in the 50s right now, dropping to the 30s for our desert or mountain areas rather tonight. We could see a dusting of snow again. Thunderstorms potentially with small hail there. We've seen it to the north of us. Could potentially happen here. The big story along the coast is going to be those large waves. And if that's not enough for you, let's do it all again on Monday. We're going to see another round of showers, gusty winds, and large surf on Monday. This one's a quick moving one. It's in and out of here through the day on Monday and dry as we head into Tuesday. But look at that, highs in the 50s for our inland areas, and we could see lower snow levels, though we're not expecting a lot of moisture with this next one coming through on Monday. But low snow levels, maybe some snow over Julian. We're going to have to track that one, though.
White Christmas in San Diego. You heard it here first.
No promises there.
I know, that'd be cool. That would be cool. Boy, they got slammed.
They really did. And that was the same system that brought us some rain. And Texas reported most of the damage this morning. Take a look at this video out of Fort Worth. The side of the building was ripped off. And I want to show you some other photos that were sent in on Twitter of some of the tornadoes that we saw. This is near Amarillo, Texas. That's in the Panhandle. 28 tornadoes were reported across Texas all the way up to Nebraska, most of them in Kansas in the overnight hours. And we're not done yet. Here it is. This is bringing snow behind it, out ahead of it. This is where we're talking about the potential for severe weather. More tornadoes. And look, most of the Midwest all the way down to the southeast has that severe thunderstorm threat. Wind, hail, tornadoes, all of them possible. This will be the line that we're watching, Mississippi, Alabama, and all the way out to Georgia for the severe weather.
Whole new way of life.
Yeah.
Just conserving now all the time.
It really is. You know, speaking of California's drought, the latest U.S. drought monitor was just released today, and no surprise, California hasn't seen any change in the drought conditions this week. So we're talking a lot about El Nino, and we've been in a weak to moderate El Nino since March. And you measure El Nino in the water temperatures in the equatorial Pacific. But even up and down our coastline, water temperatures have been anywhere from 2 to 5 degrees above average. The warm water near the equator is where we're measuring El Nino, though, and forecasters are saying water temperatures could reach 3.6 degrees above average as we head into this winter. We've only done that 3 times since record keeping began, indicating that this potentially could be the strongest El Nino ever recorded. When we have La Nina or normal conditions, we tend to see milder and drier conditions during the winter months. El Nino tends to bring a southerly track of our jet stream, bringing more storms to the desert southwest. Not necessarily stronger storms, but more storms. But it's not equal all across the desert southwest. There's a lot of factors that go into play when you're talking about El Nino. And the best correlation between El Nino and a wet winter is a strong El Nino and the southern portions of California and Arizona. So San Diego is included in that. We have about a 60% chance for above normal rainfall heading into this winter. But the farther north you go, where our reserves are, where our snowpack is, that correlation just isn't as strong. So is this El Nino going to be enough to end our drought? Not likely. Southern California in particular is missing 1.5 to 2.5 seasons of rainfall. Our California water supply across the entire state is absolutely abysmal. And how much do we need? Well, we need about 2 feet to 45 inches of rain by the end of our next water year just to be back at normal. Well, what has San Diego seen? In the 6 strong El Ninos we've seen, we've picked up about 18 inches at the most in San Diego. When you average all El Ninos, weak to strong, we've picked up about 1 foot on average. We've actually seen droughts start in El Ninos. And our last wet year was actually a La Nina right before our historic drought started, 2010 to 2011. So the drought is not likely going to end anytime soon. So the takeaway is keep conserving. Anytime it rains, put your buckets out there, take shorter showers, do anything that you can or are already doing, continue to do that. And when we're talking about this winter, be prepared for floods and mudslides. Get those sandbags ready because it could potentially be a very active winter. We're hoping for one. We need more rainfall, and the seasonal outlook is looking like it for actually most of the southern portions of the country.